Sidekick Media Services. We are your sidekick in business for social media, video production, and more. Find out more at sidekickmediaservices.com.
I'm your pal in the mainstream media.
And I'm your Riz.
And you know, Riz, it takes years of strenuous, dedicated training before you're worthy to step inside a professional wrestling ring. But it takes even more time to develop complex, highly astute opinions about professional wrestling. Am I right?
That is correct. You know where we can find that?
Yes.
The Wrestling Ham.
That's right.
Sidekick Media Services. We are your sidekick in business for social media, video production, and more. Find out more at sidekickmediaservices.com.
This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com. This show is brought to you by Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. Production services by Sidekick Media Services. And listeners like you, supporting us at patreon.com/AwesomeCast. It's time to get geeky, get awesome. It is the AwesomeCast. I'm Mike Sorg at Sorgatron on the social medias in the Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Hit record. Yes. It's okay. It was just the backup. With me back in the studio, the one that's been giving my mother nightmares about dropping her phone in the toilet. It's the Dutters is with us. Katie's back with us.
I'm a walking cautionary tale.
You and me both, sister. How are you? Have you dropped anything else in the toilet in the last week?
No, but it was really funny because like we have the glass screen protector and I've dropped it a handful of times. It's not to the point where I'm hurting myself, so it's still on there until we do a Baja event, and then I'll switch it over.
Sure.
But until then, I have the screen. It's cracked this way, that way, and this way. I kept touching my phone and I couldn't figure out like what was this like sliver of a thing, and it was like the corner that had cracked off, and I was like, oh, that's it, and I just threw that away. But it's still good.
Oh, jeez. How many of those plastic glass screens have you gone through at this point?
Oh, not that many. This is the first one I've busted.
Really?
Yeah, of all the...
I'm at least on my fourth or fifth one.
On this phone?
Wait, on the I'm on a 13 still, so yeah.
Well, it's the Max. I have not had a problem until the frickin' Max. It's just the smidgiest bit more, and I just drop it all the time.
I randomly started putting it in my back pocket because I had other stuff in my pockets, and I was doing interviews backstage for an event this weekend, and I was like, oh, this makes more sense in my back pocket. And I'm just like, and I never put it in my back pocket, and that I only end up doing that like I've done it like once or twice before, and it's always when I'm like, oh wait, my room key's in that pocket. Why did I do this? So
no,
it worked out, thankfully. But anyways, we're going to get into some geeky things, some awesome things. I got a few news items from the week, and we'll see where it goes from there, because we only have a couple things. Because I don't know about you, I was busy this week in Philadelphia for WrestleMania, so I didn't get to see much tech news until like probably literally today. So there's that. I did not feel the earthquake on Friday. So, but that was it was really concerning that there was an earthquake there. I'm watching the flooding in Pittsburgh. Then there's an eclipse on Monday. Yeah, no, I was feeling like, well, guess this is it. So, that feeling like when you watch an early movie and there's like a news story that's probably going to have something to do with later in the story. That's how I felt like in the hotel going up the escalator, seeing the story about an earthquake, and I'm like, what earthquake? What here? What the hell? Anyway, so that was a really curious situation there. But anywho, here we are and ready to get awesome. So, Katie, did you narrow down your awesome thing of the week here?
I did.
Okay, what's going on?
Yes, I did. And I have not been doing anything like preparing for a big event on Friday. Casino night.
Nothing's going on. Casino night, 412 Thrive.
Yeah.
You have going on. We talked about it last week. Yes. Everything from flyers and stickers and
all kinds of
and life hacks for printing things at the last minute.
Yes, that's not even my awesome thing of the week.
No. What is your awesome thing?
A season of the Force.
What?
Everything I've been sending you in the TikToks.
Oh, okay.
So
Nope, that was the fade the black button. Hello, we're back.
I'm back, guys.
There we go.
I missed you.
Let me try this button. There you go.
Ooh, star wipe. So we're going someplace. We're going on Thursday. We're flying out to California to do some work on like our second work trip of the year, and we're staying an extra day because we're going to Disneyland, and it just so happens that is the I keep calling it the After Dark of it's the Star Wars After Dark.
The After Dark side.
Yes, After the Dark Side event. And I was, so I was super excited about that. I'm building a lightsaber. There's a lot of stuff happening. We're meeting up with our friend Amanda Narcissi, who's, has been on the show several times. And the thing is, I was on TikTok and TikTok told me, I didn't even know this. This is how the world I've been. It's the season of the Force. So what is it is? There's new this is all at Disneyland. New Star Wars scene in Star Tours where what are the things? You have Ahsoka. I can almost talk. We got Grogu. And we got who else is on there? So there's
I have food pictures.
That's a little further down.
Okay.
But no. You definitely, there's a ton of food. There's a whole bunch of theme food that just looks incredible. Big list of food and drinks. New fireworks show happening at Galaxy's Edge. There's a Ren meet and greet. I don't want to be too excited, but Boba Fett should be there. And I have never seen Boba Fett in person at Disney, so this could be a thing. I almost cried when I saw Marie. I don't know what's going to happen when I see Boba Fett. We also I sent you the video of the droids, the BDX droids.
Yes.
Adorable.
Those are the ones from the NVIDIA presentation, right?
They're little guys. They do little hops. Adorable. They'll be there. The Hyperspace Mountain is getting a Star Wars makeover, which is exciting. There's fancy, so much merch. I'm going to be in so much trouble because it's all going to be incredible. There's some very cool stuff and some very unique things that
There's a Sabine Wren? What?
Yeah.
There's the
Look
robots.
at the robots. They're
That's
so cute.
amazing.
They're adorable.
Wait, is this the Jabba popcorn bucket or something?
Yes, and I believe it talks. I think that's the one that talks. Salacious Crumb does not talk, which I was led to believe.
These look nice. The new Star Tours merch you were showing me, and I've never been to Star Tours or anything. I only know a little bit about it. But man, so is this so this corresponds with like our night thing, right? Like, is that why there's like the late night thing that we're going to?
Yeah, I think
awesome.
I think it's all part of the thing. But this all started, I think, last week. So it's all going to be pretty new, and seen a lot of, like I said, it's all over TikTok. All the Disney influencers have been out there talking about how incredible the food is. Like, this is what you should eat, this is what you should buy, and this is what you should see. I'm just going to be running around, just chasing after Boba Fett if he's there.
That's going to be awesome. I need to remember. I'm like, I got to pack my magic band. And don't forget my magic band. I feel like I'm running out of time because I have like 2 days between trips here, and I feel like I'm completely going to miss out and have to buy another one. So
new magic band.
Yeah,
new
exactly.
Magic band.
So it's why I got the Star Wars one. I think it was a Darth Vader one or something,
Nice.
right? So. That's awesome. So I'm excited for that. We'll be there Tuesday for that. So programming note along with that, we won't be here next Tuesday because we'll be running around Disneyland when this show is supposed to be.
Let's just do it live from Disney.
You know what? We could just generally go live from the AwesomeCast page, I guess, at some point. So, like, what
Watch
is
us
that?
run around Disney, screaming.
Well, it would actually be the hour before we're going on Disney because I think it starts at 7. No.
And then we got to do California math.
We're doing California, yeah. Yeah, California math at whatever the time is. So 5 is 4 o'clock. I don't think we're in until 5 or 7. I can't remember what the tickets were.
Yeah, I got to ask Amanda. I have questions. Yeah. I got to. It's like I have not timing. I've just been looking at the fun part. I have not been paying attention to anything timing wise.
No.
Because I think there's a parade that night.
Oh.
Remember?
Yes.
Parade. Mm-hmm.
Yes. You're trying to. We've been debating over costumes apparently for you.
I bought a costume.
So you bought a costume.
Yes, I bought a costume.
Okay.
I'm not a good guy. I'm never a good guy.
You're never a good guy.
I was looking at well, because I'm building a lightsaber and I wanted something with my lightsaber. And my roommate's like, "You are not a Jedi." I was like, "No." He's like, "You are something more mechanic-y, like messing with stuff." And so, yeah, I decided I'm just going to be a bad guy. You know, dark side. I mean, like, I'm influenced by the dark side. Okay. With my Samuel L. Jackson lightsaber, purple lightsaber. It's going to be purple. That's the thing.
It has to be. I'd pick purple too if I was doing that.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. Oh no, did a thing. So yes, I'm sure we'll be all over the. All over the thing. So
things doing stuff.
Potter says he's waiting for the iPhone 16 Pro Max, which is supposed to be a 1/4 inch larger than the current one. So
I don't know. Am I gonna? I'm like trying to figure it out.
Yours is gonna be the medium size at that point, right?
Yeah.
So
my mom will be like, I'll just carry my iPad Mini around.
Exactly at that point. Well, you remember when like iPads came out and they gave like the sumo wrestlers had them and used them as phones?
Yeah.
Just the regular like 9-inch ones. You know, it's like okay, but. I don't know. I'm happy with mine, and I haven't been feeling the pinch on it in the 13. So and might have a good reason to be holding on to those bigger screens here that we might be talking about later here in the show. So my awesome thing is a little more work functional as we're, getting a lot of stuff out of the way. And it's good to have a little bit of help with that as we're so short on time, it seems like these days. So ChatGPT, one of the big things about when I switched back to ChatGPT I was using Claude for a bit for a couple of things, including things like, summarizing podcasts and transcripts and things like that is a big function for me doing video production and podcasting and everything, right? So, I am in the middle of an SAE project, and I knew I needed to grab a couple quotes out for this highlight video. So I was thinking about it. I was like, oh man, how am I going to do this? I don't have much time for this. Then I was like, oh right, GPTs, making your own GPT. I've played with this because I wanted to make a GPT that was all the transcripts of this show, but you're limited to about 20 items. And as our friend Kit told us a few weeks ago, basically the thing is to go up to the enterprise version of it, which we're not affording on a podcast budget. So I ended up for this. I do have just like one. I usually will take all of the interviews we do for an event. Put them as an unlisted YouTube, grab the transcripts off of that, and put it in a document so everything's kind of searchable. Hey, did they talk about this company? Hey, did they talk about this item or anything like that, right? So I'll go back in, and I love this. I literally made one, and I'm making one for the season. So there won't be too many documents. I'll basically have one for each event that happens, right? So I should be well under the 20 threshold that I'm able to get at the level I'm at. So I dumped that in there, and I just asked. Basically, I just identify quotes to talk about the positive influence of this competition. I was so impressed with the results of this thing, and I think everything. I don't think there's anything in here that's too weird to look at. I'm like, there's nothing in. It's just people talking about the competition and everything. And Katie, I don't know if you can see on the screen there. It was really good about breaking it down, and it actually told me because I have the title of what video it came from. With the name of the person, where they came from, and everything, right? And it got all their names in here. It says literally North Carolina A&T faculty Simon. I can't remember how we say his last name. And gave a quote which was great. Like, then I could go back, search the first couple words of that quote, find the time code, grab it out, put it in a video. We're good to go. Ansys, he has had something great. I'm actually looking. I'm probably going to use this one from Tarleton as well, and gave me a really good, quote with it. So like that has been again using like just kind of the transcripting, throwing it in there. That's been really really impressive. And the nice thing is, a lot of times though at the end of the season we want like something for advertising or sponsors or things like that. So we just went through this. I grabbed what were using Notebook LM, I think maybe. I dumped a bunch in there, and we were looking at stuff for sponsorship, and I was like, what do sponsors think of this? Give me something positive, or what do sponsors think about this? Give me quotes talking about this aspect of these competitions, and it's able to serve those up. And this is something that would typically I would have to sit there and go through all of these interviews, because we took a lot of interviews the last event, right? And I was like, I'd probably be sitting here for 2 hours watching through the interviews, trying to find the content buried in there, and hopefully my eyes don't glaze over and I miss something important, right? So this really kind of boils that down, and it's a big time saver for something like that. So, and also that goes around to if you are doing something where you're kind of on a personal level and have all this content from a podcast and interview, things like that, you can dump into something like a ChatGPT or Notebook LM. Notebook LM is free, by the way, so you can poke at that a little bit. I feel like the ChatGPT is a little more mature. It seems like the results have been a lot better with it. Just seems like the mass is kind of attacking it right now. That may change. I feel like I haven't been on a tool for more than 2 months at a time, Katie. I don't know if you've noticed this with AI, right? So it's ever evolving. So I think you need to be ready not to settle into something, right? I don't know if ChatGPT feels like it's mature and I might not be going anywhere for a while, but check in with me in 2 months, right? Mm-hmm. So you've been bouncing a lot. I need to remember to cancel the other thing that CapCut just deprecated basically for me.
You're like, bye.
Yeah.
No, but I have a good ChatGPT story for you for Patreon later. That I was pretty impressed with this feature that ChatGPT, with this thing that ChatGPT did for us that we needed. We had a need, and it fulfilled that need very well. It was very impressive.
All right, we'll do that on Patreon then. So, but for those that don't know, because I forgot how to do it. You need to hop in there in the ChatGPT. It actually you actually ask it how did I make it? You go to Explore GPTs. Here we go. Here, I'll show you guys on video here if you want to catch it later. Walk you through it. If you're in ChatGPT and then you have the Explore GPTs, and that's where you can get ones that other people have made. Also, I have a summarize this that I've been using, and it went away when I logged in today. So I actually had to hop into a new one called Transcription and Transcription Analyst was the new one. I mean, it's all ChatGPT. I can't imagine there's too much different. And I actually kind of like the results better anyways. But yeah, basically you have the My GPTs where you can see everything in there. That'll load up in a second. And you'll see this kind of stuff I've been working on. This is where I keep hearing about people throwing a bunch of code in there. Actually, I should go back because I made one in Notebook LM. I should dump all of my manuals for the video equipment in here as well. So you just go to create, and in my case, I love this. You go to create, and in my case, I went to I don't know what I have on this computer that's going to be good for it. There's no documents on here. Here's a proposal. No, we're not going to go show into a proposal. Literally, all I have in here is a proposal.
Me.
So, what's that?
It's me. I was just like,
Is it even going to do that? I think, okay, it's uploading a video and saying, I want to ask questions about this. No, it's not going to work with the video. But the cool thing was it went in, and I was going to just throw a logo in there and stuff. And it actually created with DALL-E its own logo. And I'm trying to figure out if I can show you guys a lot bigger. There, it's really zoomed in, but you see it's just because it was aero design that I put in there, so it's just an airplane with a bunch of techie stuff in the background. It's so AI generated, right? But I was just like, you know what, I kind of like that. I'm leaving it there, especially since we're not out of the aero part of the season. So that was a nice little hack I figured out today when I was trying to wrap my head around how to kind of tackle this situation, and given the time frame that I have to try to get at least a preview out here, which and I will say these are are self-imposed deadlines. 'Cause, there was a question. I just kind of was like, Wednesday. I'm going to do it Wednesday because that's what's going to work for my sanity. So highly recommend. Again, the $20 for my ChatGPT. If you can think of like 3 things that are going to save you a bunch of time, I think that $20 is far, far worth it. So good stuff there. So let's give a shout out to our friends over on Patreon. Thank you for supporting the show at patreon.com/awesomecast. And you'll get whatever Katie's ChatGPT story is later. Or ChatGPT. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know, and I'm trying to find the video because it's 2000s, like back in the aughts.
Okay.
There was the video, and it was when like things started to, like, cell phones were really like getting a little bit better as far as storage went. And it was this viral video, and it was like somebody talking to someone at a tech store, like a Best Buy, and it was like, does this phone have the GBs and the Wi-Fi's? I have to find you the video. And it was like, we watched it a gazillion times. So whenever I see like ChatGPT, I want to be the Gibbets.
The Gibbets.
The Gibbets.
The ChatGiblets. ChatGiblets. I wish I should phonetically do that for the title. Show title. Also, when you say show title, now it's searchable later when you grab the transcription. That's a hack because we have a lot of fun stuff will happen over a recording we do here in the studio for one of our corporate gigs. And when there's something funny we want to use for TikTok, we just yell clip it. And now I just need to search for clip it. And we're good to go, and I can find everything instead of having to go through and find all the goofy stuff we did. Oh no!
It's the iPhone 4 versus HTC Evo video.
Oh no!
Yeah, and so I'll pull this up and we can play with this on.
All right, we'll play that on Patreon.
I'm so excited I found this video.
That's awesome. Anyways, thank you to our Patreon supporters at patreon.com/awesomecast. You get the extra chatter. Thanks to our friends at the Coffee Club level, Cynthia Klosky, at the Fan Show level, Michael Fedor, Matt Weller, John DeGore, and Dave, partner, spouse of the Rooster Julia Affair at roosterjuliaaffair.com. Hello, partner from the road, apparently. So everybody's on the travel. This is a travel month for everybody, it feels like. So that's very cool. I mean, hopefully that means everybody's doing good out there. So I ran into one of our neighborhood people like, oh, road warring ain't as much as it's cracked up to be. It's like, no, I love the road. I hate all the stuff back home I keep forgetting to take care of. I had my first fight with my lawn for this season today because, my Chihuahua was starting to get lost in it. So to confirm to use the GPT store, you need to be paid for ChatGPT. Yes, you do have to be in ChatGPT. To create in the store and everything, you do have to pay for ChatGPT. It's not in the free version. So that is the $20 level. And then you go up from there if you need some more features, which apparently the thing I wanted to do is one of those features. So unless I can put about 100 episodes into one Google document, I think I'd be okay. So we'll see how that goes. Anyways, let's get into some more from that item 1 was actually my thing up top. So Katie.
Yes.
There's been some Star Wars trailers.
Star Wars.
Have you seen these Star Wars trailers?
I have not.
There is, first of all, did you see Tales of the Jedi on Disney Plus?
No, because I got rid of Disney Plus.
Oh no!
I wait till things are like stockpiled on Disney Plus because I don't use it enough. Like,
I feel like it's very stockpiled because like Bad Batch has the last season. I haven't watched that one yet. I watched Ahsoka like way too late. But they do have another one. It's Tales of the Empire, and it's going to be they say at least 2 stories of shorts. And again, from the dark side perspective, there's at least like a Sith. What do you call the Sith? Not Padawans or the what are the Sith underlings?
Sithlings.
All right, there's at least a Sithling happening there. Okay.
Sith in training.
Siths in training. It's another CG cartoon, which they're banging out a lot of these. It seems. I guess it's mostly in that Bad Batch kind of style, Clone Wars kind of style, which has really evolved over the years, which has really been nice. But this one, I actually went to look for this trailer and found they actually announced a new game coming out called Outlaws. Do you want to be a scruffy nerf herder?
Who doesn't?
There is it's very cool. It's definitely a Han Solo type lady. involved in this one. Hold on, we'll see if we can get her. There she is. Looks like very story driven. Looks like very you know, it's the scum and villainy part of the Daba's in it. Daba's in it. There you go.
It looks very Oddworldy.
It does look very Oddworld, or
Like the original, like how it just dark, and like some of the characters kind of have that face, like the shape of like, yeah. It's like, it's very
it looks like it's, you know, it's from the same group. Oh, this is actually Ubisoft, because I think the one I've been playing is this is the first Ubisoft one. So say hello to Assassin's Creed Star Wars, apparently.
Oh.
But no, Ubi's got a really good with story and everything, and I've been really happy. Kira, I thought it was kind of from the same group that did the Fallen Order or Fallen Jedi or whatever that was. I played the first of them, and I know one just came out last year too, because they're on well, at least the original ones on EA Play on Game Pass. So I thought that was a you know, a fun Star Wars bonus there. So I'll have to keep an eye out for that. Hopefully it's on Game Pass here in a bit. But it also looks like more story than some of the other ones have been too. So which I appreciate that. So and
Acolytes.
What's that?
Acolytes.
Acolytes. Which one is Acolytes? I don't think I've
Sith Padawans.
There's a show Acolyte coming out, isn't there?
Maybe. That's what the Sith Padawans are. Acolytes.
I can't remember if it was announced or if there's a trailer for it. Acolyte new trailer. Oh, there is a new trailer, and I think, is this live action? I can't tell if it's live action. There's too much CG. June is going to be Star Wars Acolyte, actually. So I think your stockpile is happening pretty good, Kate.
Nice. I just need time to.
Yeah. Well, you get through your travel season, and then
When does that end?
Yeah, same problem. I haven't played WWE 2K since you and I sat down with it, I think. So it's been terrible. It's been absolutely terrible. I was this close, Katie, too. I remember one time we did an interview with AJ Styles in a hotel room here in town, and he had his whatever version Xbox that was in a suitcase. You know what? You flip it up and it's got the screen. You can just kind of pull up and play it. I've been this close to starting to do that with my Xbox Series S on these trips, as if I'll have time to play with. So. I actually bring a controller with me all the time, and I can't remember the last time I've used it on a trip. But I don't know. That's a me problem. And this is, I'm doing the same thing I always do, where I say I'm going to get some work done on this trip. I'm not going to get any work done on this trip. So,
I wish that was my option.
I know. I probably be doing some work on this trip. So all right, to the stories. Oh no, you have some bad news in here.
Oh, do I?
Yes,
oh, the new thingy.
The one on the bottom. What is happening here?
Oh, so I just saw this. I couldn't find a really great article, but this was the best one I could find with.
Krebs on security is one I hear referenced a lot, so it's not bad.
Okay, so I couldn't. It's not a flashy article, but at least it shows the screenshot of what you're seeing.
It's security, they're never flashy.
They're never flashy, but no, like none of I couldn't find it anywhere else where it was like, here is a screenshot of what you're going to see, because essentially what we're running into is it's called push bombing or MFA fatigue. MFA fatigue is. I'm like, I had to look it up because I was like, I can't remember what this is called. It's the oh my gosh, where did it go?
Multi-factor authentication.
Thank you. I was going to have a hard time saying authentication. Oh, look, I did it. Good job, me. So essentially what that is you will get a series of notifications. In this particular instance, it's for an iPhone. It's reset password. Use this iPhone to reset your Apple ID password. And you're getting like 30, 40 of these. So the thought is eventually at some point you're going to be like, you know what, just accept this or allow this. So if you would come across this and this would pop up, just hit don't allow. I mean, it's going to be a pain in the butt, but don't allow. Because the minute you allow it, you're going to let somebody else do things within your phone, and you just don't want that to happen. But so yeah, this is a bigger thing that's happening. Like I was a little bit newer to me, and it's something I saw the video on TikTok and I downloaded it and I go, here mom, here's what you got to pay attention to next. And she goes, if these people who did these kinds of things just took a bit of their talents and did good things in the world, and I was like, I know mom, you're not wrong. But it's a new way, a new phishing attack, and essentially it's they're just hoping you get sick of seeing these notifications or think that you kind of screwed up and you're like, crap, I keep getting this notification, I must have done something. So if you see these pop up, don't allow. Call your kids.
I feel like wait now. So I'm not getting it. Like, is it happening repeatedly like this? Because I feel like I get ones like kind of just very randomly.
It's both. This is the newer. This is the newer version. This is where the
boy.
fatigue comes in. Okay. This is this particular type of scheme. There's other ones where it'll just randomly pop up. That's one thing, but this is where you're seeing the fatigue, the MFA fatigue type of attack is what they're calling it, and that this is where you're getting 30, like I said, 30, 40 messages and saying, "Hey, we got to do this." No. And like this Patel in this article said that after he kept saying, don't allow, he received a call on his iPhone that said it was Apple support. And it's not. So what you can do and what he did was like hey, verify this information for me. I'm not verifying for you. You tell me, because don't give them your information.
Oh yeah, I had something call me for a payment, and it was like, oh well, we'll set you up now, and I'm just like, no, I will not give or verify any information over the phone. I don't care who you say you are. That sounds completely legitimate. I will not be doing that because I feel like that's how they get you, right? Hey, here's all this, and what's the last four of your social? No. And that's why, bill collectors or companies or courtesy calls or anything, like I feel like they've become absolutely... I don't feel it, and yes, I know it's not completely true, but I feel like nobody legitimate calls you on the phone. If you do have something where you have a bill collector, do not answer the phone and do the thing. Call them. Unless I guess in like a couple of them that I deal with on like my mortgage company, right? I do have it in my phone. Like that it's definitely them, so, and I verified the number and things like that. And if you're curious about the phone number, you can look it up, do a quick Google search. And if the first thing that comes up is a scammer site, like, hey, this is a scam, like whatever it is, burn it, block it, like, and do not talk to anybody on it, or, that's absolutely not okay. So, or, your electric company or something like that. If you want to plug in all the known numbers for your electric company, so okay, this is definitely Duquesne Light here in the area or something like that, right? Your credit card company, whatever, whoever that may be, Credit One, Capital One, whoever. So yeah, no, like God, the phone is. I feel like the phone is less and less important more as we go here.
Yeah, it's wild.
I don't understand though, Katie. How are they accessing this function? Because is it a real notification? Or it sounds like it's a system notification from the looks of it. It doesn't go away unless you hit don't allow. So what are they? Do you have any grasp on what they're getting into here?
No, I'm trying to find it now. I'm like, what's happening over here?
Because it feels like they're already in on something if they're doing this. So that's the really peculiar thing. I just looking at this. For the first time, verify one-time code, and man, so maybe it's so new that there's got to be some hole or something. The phone number is the key. Oh wait, no, am I getting other articles? Is this
it's the same part of the article, but like this is somebody, it sounds like, who allowed them.
Okay. Oh, he says that's when that happened. Okay.
Yeah, that's it for them.
Optional security feature, Apple says, helps improve security of your iPhone Apple ID. Randomly generated 28-character code when you enable a recovery key is supposed to disable Apple's standard account recovery process, but it's not a simple process. And then that's one of those, you lose the code and you just, because everything's encrypted. The nice thing is everything is encrypted. The terrible thing is if something has happened to your phone and everything's encrypted and you lose your password or something, you're done. You're absolutely done. So,
It's interesting because like they're talking about the notifications. This gentleman, it popped up on his watch. In the first option is allow. So like you just like scroll down, get away. But like I could see that being like, especially if they this a lot of stuff like this happens in off hours. If it's East Coast time, you're getting it like 3-4 in the morning. Like that's when people are testing your security because they're assuming you're asleep, and this is when you'll get most often when I will see I need to change my Facebook password because someone couldn't get in, and thankfully, like this is where two-factor authentication, there we go, is so important. And like having it, especially if you have somebody in your life, like for example with my mom and I got an email that her Apple ID password had changed. So my first thing is like, Mom, did you change your Apple ID password? And she said yes. So the same thing happens, if I would change it, she gets the notification. So we have this other phone that could kind of, checks and balances to make sure and keep an eye on things, because it's not, just don't make it, try to, you have to put as many stops in between. It's not a foolproof system, but put as many stops as you can in between, even if it just buys you time to change your passwords.
I feel like we're entering this area where I think we're all kind of hitting a bit of security fatigue at this point too, right? Like, I feel like I'm doing enough here, and then something like this is going to pop up, and I feel like more and more of my relatives are getting nabbed by some of these things, and it's just it makes you want to just throw all the phones out at this point, that's how that happens. And and I don't know, I am getting so tired, and I know you're on Facebook for pages too. Your page is is marked for deletion.
Yes.
I get so many of them on my phone because of all the pages that we're connected to. I am so afraid that somebody on that page is going to click on one of those and we're going to have a really bad day, or we're all going to have a really bad day. Because I don't know what they're trying to get, but it can't be good, right?
Yeah. Or they tag you in it.
Yeah.
And they're like,
you know what the worst thing is? The at followers on pages.
Oh yeah.
Anybody that uses at followers on pages on Facebook, I've started unfollowing, because I'm just like, no, I don't need to, because I just have so much just spam. Wait, no. How about this? Bacon in my Facebook notifications. Bacon. Little PyCamp throwback there. So, no, I'm just so done with it, and we were both very, very busy and on the go, and you pop down and you see you're so buried that you don't see the important messages from your mom or
yeah,
or partner or whatever, and you're just like, man, no, I didn't see your message from whatever. I'm afraid to X out that I'm gonna miss a message on some other messaging platform I won't see for 3 days.
Yeah,
from somebody. So it's such a. And I don't know what the hell their answer is going to be there.
Well, I think for us, and especially when you work with another company and you're doing somebody else's social media, it's so important to train folks that if you see something that doesn't seem right, if you see something that's so extreme, we're going to delete your page within 24, take a second, message us. That is, you will never bother me. I bother me any time of day or night. I would rather take a minute and go, it's spam, and go back to bed, and versus try to figure out how we get stuff back if it gets deleted, or if someone hacks our page. Just because it's such a process, and especially with places like Facebook who are Meta asking for, they're not offering help unless you pay for a certain level of assistance, and it's just condition people to.
And that's the other biggest problem, is that you get a message like this, when I've had problems with videos and things that are taken out. Facebook, I hate this. Hey, your video had some kind of music and you don't own the rights to it, and therefore, or your video is against community guidelines, and it won't let me see what the video was, even the title of the video. And it ends up being something that I posted 10 years ago. And it was just well, I don't want to fall to the wayside of your godly community standards here, Facebook. Coach, can you tell me what I freaking did to offend you in this way, so I stop doing it and can correct my action? So they're so divorced from people, which is so funny since they're a social platform. And this is not just Facebook. YouTube is a little better with it. I've been getting tagged on notifications for videos that I posted in the 2000s that are no longer against that are against community standards, or had some music in the background because it was backyard wrestling. Or a lot of them getting marked not safe for children, by the way. This is very interesting, considering how much general pro wrestling and no ring stuff that I end up posting these days, fresh and new. So I'm waiting for that to hammer the fall.
It's funny because I went back because with 412 Thrive, Sam, who runs 412 Thrive, she would be she gets frustrated because she's like, why do we keep getting these notifications? Why do we keep getting these messages? And my response is, Facebook is a hellscape we cannot leave. And I don't have a better explanation than that. There are some things, because we've recently been running into more things. So we're a breast cancer group, and when we post about breast cancer occasionally, we will get comments from, "This natural remedy saved my life," and it's whatever. So thankfully, they've kind of added some different. I forget what they're called, but essentially, you can set it so moderator. Assistance, where you can set it so if it's a page that is brand new and they don't have any, like somebody who doesn't have any friends, and it's just a brand new page, or something that has been reported recently.
Tell me more about this. I need this. So here's the thing that we've been seeing. This is the social media helper point of things. So obviously with the professional wrestling and the combat sports, because I see this when I was working with 247 Fighting Championship as well, and they have their own platform for streaming. We have our own platform for streaming. Other people who don't even stream were getting these messages and say, "Watch the show over here," and it's a streaming to some BS. Streaming thing that probably doesn't even have the show, because in a lot of cases, again, there is no show streaming, but it pops up every time we promote a show or anything like that. Is that something that these moderation things are going to, like, I would be able to potentially block those right out the gate, you think?
So I kind of pulled it's manage comment moderation for Facebook pages. And this was kind of like where you got to hide certain words. You had your profanity level, and like if these popped up in your comments, they were automatically hidden. But this is like more comment ranking. This is setting your country and age restrictions, like what people can tag and not tag, and how you review it, and manage blocking. So there's a lot more happening as opposed to what we have been seeing in the past. So this might work for you.
So that's going to be definitely work. Hey, we should have a work session on the plane here Thursday.
Sure.
You can show me how mine works. I've noticed that because I think I've activated the content helpers on some of my groups. Some of the older groups that I don't actively manage anymore have definitely been getting people just dropping porn in there, right? And then I'll get a community, and they'll show me that. I'll get the community violations kind of stuff there. I'm like, yeah, take that down, man. If I saw it, I would have taken it down. But again, how am I supposed to know? So, but no, the new the new helpers on there seem to help. I don't always get to it because again, I'm getting spammed with so many notifications with so many things. Jeez. Sorry, I'm getting messages. Speaking of one of the pages I manage, that's just making me shake my head right now. That's okay. It's not in this circle. They'll never see this.
Never.
No, they'll never watch this show, I'm sure. But anyways. So yeah, I think that's helpful. There needs to be more of that, and there needs to be. Man, we need to bring back the social media tip show.
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
you know what? Yes, I think we're at that point again. So, have you heard about iPhone is going to be changing some of its rules? Thank you, EU, by the way, for this.
Tell me more.
I presume these are across the board and not just the EU. For instance, they're now allowing apps to let you know where, like music streaming apps, they'll now let you know and give you a link to go pay for the service. Remember how, how you open a Prime Video or Audible and you don't know how to buy things? And you have to go to a website and hope and figure out that situation. No, so they are opening up those kinds of things because of the scrutiny they've had in the EU. The other one that I'm excited about, there is a test flight right now. As of Friday, they opened the rules on some app things as it pertains to gaming. In the App Store. This includes things like WhatsApp, the quote-unquote super apps, according to articles I've been reading on The Verge and others today. And so like, mini games, as long as they're an HTML-based mini game that's in the WhatsApp, because apparently they've had these on Android for years. Those will now work. There's games. I think Netflix has been doing this, I feel, with games on there. And I swear I've been playing them. Maybe I was on the Google TV before I upgraded to the Apple. But there's mini games now that'll pop, or YouTube has games that'll pop up now, right? So the exciting part with that, this also apparently allows Xbox and Nvidia to open up to have their streaming platforms on there, because remember there was that weird thing they said that each game in their system is going to have to be its own app, which is going to be completely untenable at that point. So that is potentially lifted, and now we don't have to do this backdoor web applet kind of situation there, which works perfectly fine for the most part. It's hard to kind of grab it at first, but and I have to log in all the time, it feels. But here's the fun one: GBA for iOS. Their developer has released a new Game Boy emulator for the Vision Pro as well. So not only is it on the Vision Pro, but you do also have now a beta test flight on the iOS store. Unfortunately, the beta is full. And here's a little video from their Twitter page. This is Riley Tested on Twitter, the developer of this. They're definitely playing. They're playing a little bit of a Wario World in 3D on the Vision Pro. This video is pretty great. It's like on a TV floating, and they're moving their hands with it. And I guess this would be on the Game Boy or a DS or something, right? Where you'd have a little bit of an accelerometer situation. So that's kind of fun. So emulators, they're on their way. I have a feeling before long we'll have a big glut of them, and you will not have any problem with that. I love that. These freaking sites. I love The Verge, but I saw the first article I saw on it was like, hey, this is coming, and the entire rest of the article just happened to be about what gaming controllers you can use with with the phone. I'm just like, no, tell me more about the emulators. I know how to use a controller. But they're the ones that are always like, hey, here's the stuff for your new phone. It's Christmas kind of stuff, right? Because those are the ones that get the clicks. No, I'm excited for that. I honestly, if we I've always had like, oh, there's the Android phone. I'll throw an emulator on there and forget about it because it's not my daily driver. But if you tell me I can pull up like, a Super Mario game on here, and again, this is not legal, and it won't let you download games in game unless they're legitimate. So you're not going to be like pulling up these apps and automatically downloading Super Mario World, right? Or anything like that. But if you legally own the game, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and have that file, you can legally use that over there is the statement here. So, but generally, and honestly, even if I just took the things I have cartridges for and threw them all on my phone, that would be amazing. That would be absolutely amazing, actually. So look out for that. They do have, if you want to follow it, I had the website up here that I can't find again because I have other things up. But you can go follow that. And again, it clicks through and gives you, the test flight page if you want to check that out. Like I said, the beta's been pretty full, but that is not the link for it. I'm going to try to find a link for it that actually will let you do these things. Giant Game Boy, a retro game, something like that. Something. But it's kind of a new era for this. It's been like 15 years of this, and we haven't been able to do this.
That's wild.
And I'm sure with the DOJ stuff coming in America, there's going to be a little bit more opening up here. So I don't know. Do you feel like it's kind of nice we'll be able to do something like this? But do you feel like one of the things about all this control and everything and what they locked down is security concerns. Oh. But after articles that you just gave me, I don't know if they have a lock on that anyways. Right?
Does anybody?
Yeah. I mean, you're going to tell me, hey, we're not going to let you download all this stuff because it's going to mess up your phone. And I'm like, then what's all these damn notifications that my mom's getting?
Yeah.
Right? So
yeah.
What are we doing?
You're like, please?
They are saying that the changes are EU only, according to an article that Podner is sharing in the chat, though. So, I don't think those rules are long for America at this point, too, because they're basically getting slammed for the same things. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I think it's going to be just fine. Oh, I need to change my date and time back to automatic, by the way, because I was trying to download that app.
Oh, yeah.
Because I keep looking and it's like 4:52, and I'm like, this isn't right. We got like 3 more hours to do the show. We're fine here. Okay. So
3 more hours of us talking tech.
Oh my gosh. What else is there? Is that everything we had in here? Oh, Beeper. You remember Beeper, Katie?
No, I do not.
Oh, it was the everything app that you could you could.
Oh, that you made Chachi download.
I made Chachi download.
Yes. Yes, I remember now.
He got so mad at that because he is the green bubble in our core group, and and I hate sometimes I just don't send him videos because I know it's going to look like trash for everybody. So he gets kind of a sidebar. I send you guys the video, and then if you notice, I just randomly send like you and Missy videos. It's because I'm cutting Chachi out because he would just get the cruddy video on his own. Because I send a video and he's like, "This doesn't look like anything." I'm like, "Because you're still on SMS." And we haven't figured anything out. But no, yeah, they were the I like to attribute to, remember Chilean? They used to have your ICQ and your AOL Messenger and everything in there at the time. So apparently they got purchased by Automatic. Do we remember what Automatic is?
Uh-oh.
Which do we?
No.
They're the WordPress people.
Oh.
If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so they're bringing it in, and apparently they're bringing the beeper in. They're bringing the beeper in. Jeez. Beeper's CEO is, it looks like he's going to be, if I read this right, I think he's going to be now the VP of their messaging department, I guess. So... yeah, they're done with that. They're done with the Apple, because remember there's a back and forth. They would figure a workaround on Messenger to get it to work, and then Apple would close the gap. So you know what you need for security? You need like a quote unquote legitimate company to start just poking that for a legitimate reason, for them to keep closing the gaps. Because you know how many illicit things probably got closed up because they were pushing this.
Yeah,
that would have been like major Apple Messenger vulnerable, right?
Yeah.
So that's going to be really interesting. And I guess a lot of people are kind of doubling in on Messenger and things like that. So I don't know what that means for the app itself. It just updated for me. So it keeps telling me, and also everything keeps getting disconnected from it.
Oh no.
It's been real annoying.
Oh no.
So yeah, CEO Eric from Beeper, and he get messages from Beeper themselves. So anyways, well, let us know if you're still using Beeper. I think I forgot about it. It was kind of nice for like about a month there, because it was like, okay, where's everybody messaging me? I still want that function. Give me one place where all the messages are coming in, so I can be like, okay, boom, boom.
Do you not get it on your laptop?
On my laptop?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I get texts from both the Android friends and even the verification codes.
Yeah, but this also had like Facebook and LinkedIn.
Oh, you're asking too much.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I just want to be able to like sit on my phone and not have to text somebody back be on my laptop and just go and not have to go over here to like text somebody else back.
So I don't know what I'm doing, but the texts work on my laptop, but not my desktop.
Oh.
I think there's something I haven't activated over there. So, because I'll forget what I'm on, and then, well, thankfully, I set my laptop right next to my computer, and you can drag the mouse over to the laptop and just type the message over there, which is kind of nice. So, that seamless transition, sitting a Mac next to a Mac, is wonderful. And is great for my workflow. Okay, I'll throw my work timer over here. I'll throw my notes over here on this laptop, and then work over here on my two screens. So, yeah.
I love the copy and paste. Mm-hmm. Like I'll be on my phone and I'm like, copy, and I'm over here, I'm like, paste.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I will type. If I have a long message I don't want to screw up, I will type it on my I will type it on the computer, and then it's easier for me to go across all the apps and go paste, and just put it out. So, especially the messaging apps these days. So, one last thing. I want to make a note from this weekend, because I've been trying my best to use Twitter along with Mastodon, Threads. Apparently Threads has opened up their federated, so you can click something there, so your thread posts will now show up in the Mastodon Fediverse as well. So Katie, I could potentially see your thread posts over on my Mastodon over in the Twit server.
Neat.
Or our own server at sorgatronmedia.social. So there's that. The biggest tentpole for me was going to WrestleMania, where everything's happening at the same time, because I'm like, if this is, and I've been saying wrestling is, I gotta see where wrestling's at. If people are still doing everything on Twitter, then the other things are not catching fire yet in my view. there was nothing on anything else. Everything was going to Twitter. Everything was promoting Twitter. It's still, for wrestling fans and wrestlers, Twitter is still the place to be, which I think is very... I know Twitter's not doing well otherwise. Maybe it's the last thing that's there. I don't know. But that was a really interesting note from the weekend, in a very big event weekend in Philadelphia with the 100 or so wrestling shows over the week and everything like that. That's how you saw such good things of a clip of Deathmatch Gritty, for instance. So I really hope that went viral. I don't know how it doesn't go viral at this point. Viral, like Gritty doing a 450 splash through a table or whatever the hell they were doing out there in a skate park. Tony Hawk skate park, by the way.
Oh, neat.
Like, it is a skate park from Tony Hawk, the game. So I'm sad I didn't get down there, but I'm loving the visuals that are coming out there, and I can't wait for the full match footage to be coming out as well. So there's that. All right. Well, Katie, you and I will be on California this weekend.
Yep.
Hanging out in Van Nuys for a little bit of worky work with our friends at SAE Aero Design. Just had a chat with them today, so I'm very excited about that. It's the 2 days we have to stand in the field are the only 2 days with a chance of rain. This will be great. This will be great.
Everything's fine.
It'll be fine. When did it start raining in Los Angeles?
Only when we visit.
Only when we visit. I swear, it rained every damn time I was out there last year. So, no, that'll be fun. We'll be hanging out at Disneyland. Keep an eye on our social medias. Sorgatron on all the social medias on my side. Probably Twitter first, to be quite honest. So, and Katie, you're in a few places.
I'm everywhere.
Yes.
Just places.
Okay. What was your website again?
KatieDudas.com.
KatieDudas.com. There you go.
Not dud ass.
Not dud ass. I am Sorgatron.com. I think I linked all. I should probably double check that because I haven't looked at it for a while. I hope it's still up. I posted some stuff around the new year and then forgot about it again. That's my yearly update. But no, I think I have some podcasts and some social media linked in there as well. The old school ones. There's still a bird on there. So there's that. So thank you. We will be again back live here in 2 weeks, apparently. And then we'll get back to the awesome things. And I don't know, maybe we'll post something next week. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't figured out what I'm doing for this show or if there's any time to do it. So thank you, everybody. You have been our awesome audience. Have an awesome week. This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at